welcome aboard my truck. Today we are on Interstate 70 heading westbound into well, actually we're already in Indiana. We're just a bit east of Indianapolis, for those who care to know. Anyways, the topic of today: how to get rid of a woman. Planning your exit. So there you are, you took the red pill, you begin to see what all these girls are really all about, and you find yourself between a rock and a hard place. So what's your next move, right? Well, it's very simple. You do exactly the opposite of what you've been doing all along. If you're in a relationship, chances are you're in it because she finds value in you, not because you find value in her, because thanks to Prefault's law, we know that it's all up to the woman most of the time. So what you do is very simple. You begin to take that value away. Show up at her house one day, right? If you guys live separate, show up at her house, right? But not in your regular attire. Show up greasy, full of grease, automobile grease. If you don't have automobile grease, it's very cheap. It's like $2-3 at a Walmart. Find yourself, show up with dirty clothes, right? And have a story ready. A story that says, your car broke down and you don't know, based on when you're gonna get paid, you don't know if you're gonna be able to fix it anytime soon. Next, tell her that things aren't as nice at work as you expect them to be, right? She doesn't really care whether you suffer or not at work, so it's not about whether you enjoy your work or not. Just tell her that you're thinking of getting fired. You can make up a story of how someone's trying to blame something else on you, how you've been playing office politics to try and keep your job, and that your future is uncertain in your current workplace. If she knows that you have a bit of money set aside or whatnot, tell her that an emergency medical situation came along and one of your family members really needed help and you had to wire the money and you don't know if they're ever going to pay you back. You consider it that you mostly just gave it to them as a gift because you love them so much, and now you're broke. So, in other words, you got to pretend that you're broke. Tell her you have no money, In fact, the day when you show up at her house with the story of how your car broke down, don't get out of your friend's car, right? Show up at a bicycle. Show up on a bicycle, right? Or better yet, if she has a car of her own, ask to borrow her car, all greased up as you are, and or have her pick you up somewhere else, like at a bus terminal or something like that, right? Women are real superficial, right? So if she sees you dirty and she knows or she suspects that you're broke, right, the value that she'll see in you will start to dissipate. It'll start to go away, right? And she will find a way to get rid of you. So it'll seem as though she's dumping you because you lost your value to her, but in reality you planned it all along. Now you say, well, my situation's a bit more complex, sweet padre. It's not that easy. I have kids with this woman. We live in the same house, and we've been married for 20 years, and now I took the red pill. And I know I need out. I know I have to get out of it, but you know, it's not that easy. I don't want to lose all my stuff, right? You know, lawyers are definitely going to get involved. The courts are going to get involved. You know, children are going to have opinions of their own. It's tough. It's tough. So here's my suggestion. And again, this is only a suggestion because in these more complex situations where you know you have to get out of it, right? Because you've been miserable for so many years, and only now you've come to realize how much of a slave you've really been to her. So this is what you do. It takes a little more planning, but it's not impossible. That money you told her that you wired to a family member, you set it aside. Get yourself a safety deposit box, right? In a different bank, a bank that she knows nothing about, that you know, she doesn't suspect you have an account at that bank. Get yourself a safety deposit box and start putting some money in there. Don't touch it every month, all right, or every 2 weeks, because you don't want to raise suspicion with the people at the bank, you know, going there every week, right? Because then it'll start to look weird. Don't ask me how I know this. So you show up every month, you know. You open a separate checking account, and you put the money there. And when it's time to, you know, when the month comes around, you either buy silver coins. You can do it in silver. You can buy silver coins. If it's more money than that, you can buy gold coins and just put them in there, you know. Or you can even buy government bonds or whatever you think a good investment would be, or a good way to keep your money in the safest way possible, you know. And that's how you do it. Every month you put something in there. 6 months go by, now you have a small fortune, right? Your little stack is growing, you're more secure, you have a safety net for when you're ready to leave that crappy relationship, that relationship that's been burning you for so many years. Her debts are not your problem, right? So if she has debts, don't worry about it. Now that she thinks you're broke, if she's not, you know, trying to dump you, you know, just tell her you're living paycheck to paycheck. You try, because you don't want her to dump you right away. You want to tell her that you know, that things are gonna get better, and that you know, you're working on things, right? Because again, you don't want her to dump you right away. So that way you get time to put money aside. You put your money aside, build up your stash, your safety net. And then when you're ready, when you think you can live a good, you know, 3 to 6 months out of what you have in your safety deposit box, then you go all out. You know, you tell her there's no way you're gonna make a comeback, that you're feeling sick, that you know, that you don't really see a future in your workplace. Turn around your 401k. You know, make up a story with the 401k. Tell her you didn't think you had as much in there as you thought you did. And with the kids, if you have kids that are grown, I mean, it's not really an issue, because they're grown. Chances are they're out of the house, and if they're not out of the house, they should be out of the house anyways. So you're not responsible for other adults that haven't done what they need to do to become independent on their own, right? To become self-reliant and independent, truly independent. So if your kids are grown, that's not your problem, right? That's the way I see it. That's a hard truth to swallow for many parents, but what's the alternative? Being a slave for the rest of your life? So that doesn't appeal to me. I don't know. I mean, to each his own. But I don't think that's a good thing to do, especially after you take the red pill, the first red pill, anyways. So that's what's up with grown kids. If you have small children, right, it's a bit harder, but it's, you know, again, you got to look out for number one. You got to look out for number one, pal. This is what, you know, you only live once. According to most Western religions, you only live once, right? And you might as well enjoy it. You might as well do the very best that you can to ensure that you are happy. You don't owe your happiness to anybody else, not to a wife, not to kids, not to mother or father, right? Like in the case of those of us who may be taking care of an adult that has special needs, or maybe an elderly person or whatnot. The truth is, this is, it's a modern world. This is capitalism, and I don't want to blame it all on our current economic system, but we have to sometimes question whether we've been living for others, right? And we have to draw a line somewhere and say, you know what, from this point on, I'm gonna live for myself. I'm gonna enjoy my life, my health, mental health and physical health, and so you move forward, right? So now you have a stash, you have some money set aside, and your next move is, well, you start bringing those stories up, right? Sob stories of how you're not doing well. Chances are, and I guarantee you, your future ex will do everything in her power to get rid of you, right? And in the process, she's gonna try and take what's left, or what she thinks is left, right, out of your fortune. If you're in a position where you can sell the house and split the proceeds before you even file for divorce, do it. If she files for divorce, if you file for divorce, it may look a little bit better in court. It's better if it catches her by surprise, because she's gonna do that to you anyways, right? So why not, when you're ready, why not catch her by surprise, right? Take all your stuff out of the house, on a day when she or in a night when she goes out partying with her friends, or she goes on vacation to Jamaica or the Bahamas, to go to see Chad and Tyrone. That weekend, when she's strong and independent enough to tell you that it's none of your business to find out where she's going, then that's when you take your stuff out, right? And so when she comes back, she's really gonna find out how strong and independent she truly has been. So you catch her by surprise as much as you can. That's one of the big delights. One of the nice things about being divorced. And believe me, once you start living by yourself again, once you start enjoying the bachelor life again, right? You're gonna be happily divorced. And there's no greater feeling in the world to be happily divorced, to be 30, 40, 50, and to once again feel like you're a teenager, that you're not responsible for anybody but yourself. That's so I gotta tell you guys, it's a wonderful thing to experience. So smaller kids, again, let's go back to the issue of dealing with the situation. If you have smaller children, you have small kids, right? Again, you have to think, who am I living for, right? Especially if your children came to the world as a result of her lying, because many women lie. They lie to get pregnant, they lie to trap you, right? So yeah, the kids are not guilty of what she has done. That it's understandable, right? Kids are innocent. Well, sometimes they're innocent, sometimes they're not. But for the most part, they're not guilty. They're not guilty of what her actions, what she has done. So this is harsh. I know what I'm saying is harsh. Many of you will not take it lightly. If you feel as though this is pretty strong, go ahead, put it in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Fight me on this issue. But if you are not hard on her I guarantee you that on 99.99% of the times, she will be hard on you. So you can't play fair with people who have no integrity, who have no sense of morality, who are completely self-entitled to your stuff. You gotta play by their book. You know, you cannot bring them over to your side and you know, have them be reasonable, right? What are you gonna do? Sit there and reason with a woman that's so emotional? She's gonna try to blame everything on you. So plan your escape wisely. Put some money aside. You know, count on the fact that you're gonna go to court, and make sure you disappear as many assets as you possibly can. If you have money to the point where you know, you have businesses or whatnot, even if you have a small business, right? You want to have that, you know, you want to start transferring funds to a corporation. You want to make that business, structure that business in a way that, you know, the money that's in there is protected from her at the time of your divorce. You don't want to be in a sole proprietorship, you know, or a partnership, or even what they call an LLC, which is a limited liability corporation, right? You want to be incorporated. You want to be an employee of that corporation, earning minimum wage if possible, even though you're driving a Mercedes-Benz, right? And you show up to court in a Mercedes-Benz, that's your boss's car, that's the corporation's car, right? And they can't do a damn thing about it. They can't do anything to take it away, because that does not belong to you. You're just a, you know, a dollar store worker, right? In her mind and on paper, and on the and at the courts. So that's how you do it. Make sure you have a will. You know, it only costs a few $100s to put a will aside, because you don't know what the future brings. And if you know in that will, if you want, you know, millions of dollars to go to your you know, to your alma mater, or to your children, or to whoever you want the, you know, your bundles and bundles of money to go to, make sure you put it in your will, and make sure she gets nothing, you know. Let me see what else. But anyways, yeah. So pretend you have no money. Make sure you disappear as much money as possible. Now you have money in your safety deposit box. You're living off of that if you need to. And but by the time you show up to court, she thinks you're broke. So she's not even gonna fight you. She might not even fight you on the issue with the kids. You know, like if you have small children, she might not even fight you on the visitation rights or whatnot, because usually they do that so they can obtain more money from you, more funds. They want your attention, but that's only one aspect of it. What they're really interested in is your resources. And so women, let me tell you, well, I'm not, again, you know, but there are many guys out there who go through divorce and they don't pay anything, or they only pay a few $100s, right, for court fees or whatnot. They don't need attorneys because there's no money involved, right? And it's the greatest thing in the world. It's the greatest thing in the world. Plenty of people do it. If you have, you know, if you're poor, the less you have, the easier that divorce, you know, and the faster that it takes place, right? Because she wants to move on to the next beta bucks deluxe or whatever, right? The next guy that's gonna provide her. She might even show up to court with a Tyrone or a Chad, you know, kind of as to say, you know, to let you know that she doesn't need you, right? So pretend you have no money, hide as much as you can. If you have a business, incorporate. Your children, you know, you're gonna see them. Again, they only play these games because she either thinks you went with another woman, or she thinks you have enough money that she's gonna fight, you know, try and fight you for that money. So I wouldn't worry about it. You know, kids grow up, and it's just part of being tough. Sometimes life is tough, but let me tell you, divorce is joyful. It's great. Once you're out here and you're 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, and you have no responsibilities, no serious responsibilities, right? You drive a modest car that's paid off, the insurance is paid off for a year or two or whatever, whatnot, blah blah blah. It's amazing. It's amazing. When you don't have that many bills all piled up, you know. In fact, let me just go ahead and say this: if she wants the house, if you're in a position where, it's either the house, like you have to leave the house to her or whatever for the kids or whatnot, you're better off just walking away from it all. Leave the house and the bills to her, right? You can make that money up by working and being free out here. It may take a while for you to catch up, but if you had your stash set aside already, that'll give you a head start, right? And she'll have no claims to any of your funds in the future because you will be divorced in a very clean manner, right? So as far as alimony goes, again, if you're earning less money, if you cut your hours down at work, you know, and you claim that you cut your hours down at work, then you're earning less money, right? So there's less money to pay for alimony or for child support, and it can all be a wonderful thing. So anyways, those are some what I think some good ways to get rid of a woman. You know, get her off your back and claim your freedom once more. It can be a wonderful thing out here, guys. Believe me. You can eat what you want. You can dress however you want. Nobody telling you what to do. Oh yeah, one last thing. Tell her how to dress. You know, do control the way she dresses, because women hate that. They think if you make a suggestion, you know, that her purple hair is kind of ridiculous on a post-war woman, you know, she's gonna hate it. She's gonna think that, you know, you're trying to control her or whatnot. So this helps you. This helps you get rid of her. All right. Until next time, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Do like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you.